Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and a quick video on the progress or non-progress of my in-ground cherry guava, strawberry guava, lemon guava, whatever you want to call it, and the perils, or what I consider to be the pitfalls of growing some tropical fruit shrubs from seed, or what I believe to be grown from seed, and why it can be a bit of a disaster. As far as I'm concerned, this plant is turning out to be a complete duff. Now, if you remember the story of this one, I bought this plant as a guava, just literally advertised as a tropical guava from Melcourt Nursery down in Cornwall. They didn't put, I don't think they had a Latin name, it just said tropical guava. And as I suspected when the plant turned up, I thought it would probably turn out to be a Psidium cattleyanum, a strawberry guava, or yellow cherry guava, because of course they haven't stated colour, and there's a good reason for that. It's because they wouldn't know. Now, when I planted this plant in the ground 2 or 3 years ago, it was quite a decent size, and it survived the first winter unprotected. We had a very mild winter, and in the second summer in ground it actually flowered quite well, had a lot of flowers on it, but I noticed that not one single flower actually set fruit. And then in December 22, which was the sort of December after it had flowered heavily, we had that Arctic freeze that came in December, and we had a week of temperatures where it was sort of -6, -7 centigrade at night, and not getting above freezing during the day, and a foot of snow, and the whole plant turned black, and it died back to the ground, completely to the ground. All the stems split open from the frost damage, all the way to the trunk at the base, and to be honest, I thought the plant had completely died. However, I cut it right back to the stump, which was about 1 inch above ground, and left it, and come June it started to send out new shoots, and it grew back quite nicely last last summer even. And last winter I did protect it. I put a couple of layers of frost fleece over it, and it suffered some damage, but not bad damage, and it has flowered again quite nicely. I don't think there's any flowers on it now. It's flowered again quite well this summer. However, what I've noticed is I've got about 5 or 6 like this, quite mature cherry guavas, both red and yellow types, in pots out in the garden. They've all flowered comprehensively this summer, and fruit set or flower set is close to, it's probably 90% on them, so 90% of the flowers have set fruit. Now, this plant has probably had maybe only 20 or 30 flowers on it, and I even tried brushing pollen from my other cherry guavas onto it. However, not one single fruit has set, and that's despite it gets sun a large part of the day. It's in ground, which means obviously the root system's a lot less restricted. If we look in here, you can probably see, let me get back there, that is the original stump from the original plant that died back to the ground. So the plant is looking extremely healthy, and it has flowered quite nicely, but it hasn't set a single fruit. Now, I believe this is a duff plant. I've got a feeling that the flowers are sterile on it, and that is the sort of thing that can happen when you grow some tropicals from seed. Not only do they not always come true to type, I mean, no way of knowing if this originates from a yellow or red one. I'm going to guess that Melcourt either grew a batch from seed, from some fruit he had or seeds he bought, or possibly bought a few seedlings from someone who offered them to him, or even imported a few plants. But I don't think they were cutting grown. I reckon this is a seedling, and it seems at the moment as if the flowers are simply not fertile, despite they're certainly not self-fertile like my other ones, and despite trying to pollinate them as well, nothing has set. So I think we've just got to accept, unfortunately, that I've got potentially a pretty cherry guava in the grounds that, even if I protect it and keep it alive, is never going to set fruit. I'm not going to say never, because maybe it will. Maybe there's some reason that the flowers haven't set. I mean, you can see the growth it's got on it. It's putting on new growth galore, which I'm really pleased with. And obviously the bigger it gets and the bushier it gets, the more likely it is to protect itself against the cold. But I will be protecting it again this winter with covers. But nevertheless, it's very frustrating that it's had multiple flowers on and nothing's set at all, because obviously without setting fruit we're never going to find out if it's a yellow or red one. But I guess it's irrelevant if it doesn't set any fruit. But I thought you'd like to see the plant anyway. It's doing really well in ground, and it will need protection in winter, but obviously we'll see how that goes, see if we don't get a horribly cold winter again. But I think with enough layers of fleece on it, it should be fine. So that's my unknown yellow or red cherry guava. Seems to be sterile, non-fertile flowers, and that is a risk you take if you get a seedling. There's always a possibility, even when it does flower, that you won't get fruits of any sort, and if it did produce fruits, they might be dreadful. So thanks for watching that video. Please give me a thumbs up, share the video if you like, as usual, subscribe to my channel, and remember to click on the bell if you want to know when new videos come out. I'll see you all soon. Brett out for now.